The year was 1948. In a land sacred to many, a new conflict erupted. The First Arab-Israeli War. Two peoples, both with deep roots here, faced off. On one side, the new state of Israel, born from the hopes of Jews for a homeland after centuries of persecution and the horrors of the Holocaust. On the other, a coalition of Arab nations, Egypt, Transjordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq, supporting the Palestinian Arabs who already called this land home. The war's origins ran deep. In the late 1800s, the Zionist movement inspired Jewish migration to Palestine, then under Ottoman rule. After World War I, Britain took control, making conflicting promises to Jews and Arabs, fueling tensions. The land was not empty. Palestinian Arabs had lived there for generations, with their own culture and aspirations. As Jewish immigration increased, so did friction. Both groups claimed the land as their own. The United Nations, seeking a solution, proposed in 1947 to divide the land into two states, one Jewish, one Arab, with Jerusalem as an international city. Jewish leaders accepted. Arab leaders and Palestinian Arabs rejected the plan, seeing it as unjust. The countdown to war had begun, setting the stage for a conflict that would reshape the region for generations. At the heart of the 1948 war was a struggle over land and identity. For Jews, Israel's creation was the fulfillment of an ancient dream and a refuge after the Holocaust. For Palestinian Arabs and neighboring Arab states, it was a catastrophe, the Nakba, seen as the loss of their homeland. Britain's conflicting promises during and after World War I left both sides dissatisfied. The 1947 UN partition plan was the final spark. Jews celebrated, Arabs rejected it. When the British withdrew and Israel declared independence, war erupted. The conflict was rooted in competing national aspirations and a shared, sacred land, neither side willing to give it up. On May 14, 1948, Israel declared independence. The next day, 5 Arab armies invaded. The Arab states expected a swift victory, but Israeli forces, though outnumbered, fought desperately for survival. Battles raged across the region. Egyptians advanced from the south, Transjordan's Arab Legion attacked Jerusalem, and Syrian and Lebanese forces struck in the north. Early on, Israel was on the defensive, but a UN-brokered truce in June allowed them to regroup and rearm. With new weapons and a unified army, Israel went on the offensive after the truce. By early 1949, Israeli forces had pushed back the Arab armies, secured key territories, and forced their opponents to seek armistice agreements. The war's outcome would redraw the map and the future of the Middle East. The war's greatest tragedy was the mass displacement of people. Over 700,000 Palestinian Arabs fled or were expelled, becoming refugees in neighboring countries and in the West Bank and Gaza. Many believed their exile would be brief, but most never returned. Refugee camps became permanent homes, fueling a crisis that endures. Jewish communities in Arab countries also faced backlash and violence. Over 800,000 Jews left or were expelled, most resettling in Israel. The human cost was staggering. About 6,000 Israelis, 1% of the population, were killed, and Arab casualties were even higher. The war left deep scars, shaping identities and grievances that persist to this day. The 1949 armistice brought no true peace, only new borders and deeper divisions. Israel emerged with 78% of historic Palestine, more than the UN plan had allotted. The proposed Arab state never materialized. Egypt took Gaza, Transjordan annexed the West Bank. The Green Line became Israel's de facto border, but Arab states refused to recognize Israel. The war solidified national identities. For Israelis, a hard-won independence; for Arabs, a bitter defeat and a rallying cry for unity. The unresolved refugee crisis and disputed borders became the core of the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The events of 1948 set the stage for decades of strife, shaping the Middle East and the lives of millions ever since.